slightly out of tune, and I made fun of you, and now I'm just thinking, I gotta get a different job. Or you do. Okay, give me a crazy two girls. You do the craziest. I don't know what you're drinking, but you're drinking a lot of it. And that's what I like about you the most. And you gotta stay, because you're so damn good. Okay, I don't know who you are, and I don't even care. Just sing it with me, and we'll do it together. Ready?
Bongo Mike. Bongo Mike.
What's happening, dude?
You're happening, man. I'm trying to catch up with all the happenings with you this weekend. How was it?
It was good. The show went well. You know, we played well. Had a good crowd out there for the Broken Oar. And, yeah, I mean, it was a fun show. I mean, Beth and her husband, Mike, were there. And, you know, just a bunch of people came out. It was good. It was a fun show. Chris Rhodes was there. Rhodes came out.
Nice.
Yeah, he jumped up and played tambourine on, I forgot what song it was. He played tambourine on one of the songs.
This was an afternoon gig?
Yeah, 2:30 to 6.
Yep.
Which always is an interesting thing because, you know, that like 5:15, 5:30, I mean, not just our band, I think in any band in general, it becomes kind of that dead zone area, right? Some people stuck around, obviously, till 6 o'clock, but a lot of people, if they've been there all day, you know, by the time 5:15, 5:30 rolls around, they're ready to go home and out and have dinner or go home or whatever. And the night crowd hasn't got there yet, right? That crowd, night, not going to get till 7:30, 8
Well,
o'clock.
night crowd on a Sunday?
No, Saturday. We were Saturday.
Oh, I thought you said it was yesterday. No, my
Yeah,
bad.
no. Yesterday they had the Three Amigos, which is
Pino.
Dan Peters, Pino, and Rich Sawyer. So, yeah, I mean, so it was, it's just one of those things that I've noticed that the crowd's thin, not just for our band, for every band. It's at that 5 o'clock lull. People,
Of course.
people been there all day,
Glassy-eyed.
Yeah, well, I mean, not
Yeah,
even,
you're great.
you didn't have to be wasted. You could have already had your lunch and you've already seen, 2.5 hours of music. But look what Beth gave me.
Uh-oh.
Mom was at her,
Oh, look at that.
and I got some cards.
Magnifique.
Yeah. Just a few, just so we can get them out there when I see somebody and I say, hey,
Absolutely.
I gave it to one of my friends. My friend Janie was out there, and Janie goes, "What's this hodgepodge?" I go, "Hog Pod."
Don't correct them.
Hodgepodge.
As long as they spell it right, who cares?
Yeah, I go, it's not hodgepodge, but close. And our buddy Brian was out there. Our buddy Brian helped move equipment at the end of the show.
Oh,
Great.
jeez.
Yeah, great guy for doing that, man. He stuck around. He's like, "Hey, you guys need any help?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Of course, our friends when in Fast Times were after us. So Fast Times was getting all loaded onto the stage, and they have screens and all kinds of props. And we got off that stage, I think, in 19 minutes. That's pretty damn good. Drums. Oh yeah, man. Fire drill. We want to respect the other band's time, and it takes them time to set up. And we got all of our stuff off, and I stuck around a little longer, talked to some of the people that were still there, some of my friends that I didn't have a chance to get a ton of time with them earlier. And I think I left about 7:15 or so. Fast Times wasn't going on until 8 p.m. That's a late night
That's
for
a
me.
late.
Yeah. And I hadn't eaten all day. Let me just say, I had like one chicken finger, a couple French fries, and a few cookies. That was my lunch from, whatever, 9 a.m. I ate breakfast. That's all I had all day was that chicken tender. Not enough.
It'd be interesting while we're waiting here is if each band member, everybody wears their iWatches or Fitbits or whatever. I'd be curious to see. And of course, there's all different body types, but who burns the most calories? Which
Drummers for sure. I mean, we're moving a lot. Unless you got somebody like Pino Farina. Actually, I could see him burning a lot more energy because he's jumping around on stage. But the average lead singers aren't doing, they're not doing calisthenics up there, Most of them are busy singing, But Pino has the rare quality of being able to, jump around and play guitar and yeah, he's burning calories up there. So
I think he was burning calories with his three amigos and their little dances.
that was funny. Yeah, I didn't make it out for that. I actually had a plan to go see that movie Sinners. So I saw Sinners yesterday at the theaters on a matinee show.
How was it?
It was okay. I mean, I always look at movies like this. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I didn't need to go to the theaters and see it. Some movies, I think, you want to see them at the movie theaters, and others, it's like, I could take it or leave it,
Well, do you get credit for going out like date night?
I went with a couple guys.
Oh,
It was a Sunday afternoon matinee. A couple of my buddies.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no dates. Gail's in this yoga class thing. So
We'll edit this out in post.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's no big deal. I mean, a couple of my friends I grew up with wanted to go see a movie, and we kind of settled in on Sinners, and we did it. It was fun. Nice, good. Just a nice day out. We went and got some tacos afterward. But yeah, I didn't make it to the Broken Oar, but I should have because it looked like a damn good show. Right?
So this male bonding is interesting. Going out to the movies with your friends.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes I go with Gail, and then there's times like yesterday, she's busy, and I'm going to move to a seat here. I'm moving. Moving in stereo.
I like the light.
Yeah, it's just the sun that's blasting in on me here, so it's going to get a little different.
Damn sun.
Damn sun. All right, let's see what I can do here. I need a TV tray now. Hold on. I can get a TV tray.
More chicken fingers.
I love chicken fingers, but one chicken finger and a few French fries, and I was famished by the time 8 o'clock came around when I got home.
I think chicken fingers are an extremely underrated food group.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they do a great job over there at the Broken Oar. All right, hold on, I'm gonna shut
At
these.
the Or. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's close these. It's not so bright.
Bright is good. You're good, man. Unless it bothers you, it's good for us.
Yeah, you'd rather. I don't know how much light you want to see.
As much as you got.
Yeah, look at that. That's a pretty good light.
Yeah, awesome light.
It's not. It's going to get real bright when the sun moves.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, there's Dermont.
Dermonte.
Yeah. What's going on, boys?
Hey, Mikey.
Mikey?
What's happening, bud?
Not too much. Just getting my controls all set. Now I'm set. All right.
Got the controls.
Mike Dermont. Bongo Mike was telling me how he goes to the movies with his friends. I thought that was cute.
Oh, how cute. You guys get a slushie? A Slurpee? Get a Slurpee together? What movies do you go see with your friends?
Well, yesterday I had a plan to go see a movie, and a couple of my friends I grew up
Nice.
with, we met over at the Synergy movie theater there in Wheeling. It's right off of Dundee.
They still do all the porn? They still run all the porn at those places?
You know what? I got to tell you, it's explicit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we went and saw Sinners.
I'm not familiar. You know what? I have no idea what's playing in the movie theaters anymore.
That's why I'm impressed. I'm like, I was giving Mike EO credit for taking his wife out to having a date night, and then he tells me he's taking his 3 buddies out. I'm like,
I gotta ask. Hey, Deb, come here for a second. I have no idea what the last movie was we saw. I got a quick question for you. What was the last movie we saw in a movie theater?
Moana 2.
Moana 2. There you go.
Oh, nice. You must have taken some nieces or nephews.
We actually took her daughters, which they're both in high school, but as you get older, one's in college. As you get older, you kind of go back and reminisce and Yeah, Moana 2. I might have slept through that one.
Wally! Boom! Boom! Boom!
What's going on, guys?
Look at that guy. He's ready to sing. He's got his Sammy Hagar headset on. Let's do it.
Who knows Wally?
I do.
Bongo Mike. Introduce Wally.
Mike Dermont does.
Well, I do. I do now that he was part of the Coterie Motown, but other than that, I only knew Wally as the legend.
You guys are the coolest group of guys.
Oh, come on now. Mikey,
you really are.
Bongo, how long have you known Wally?
Since the Motown. I just remember we were in Art's basement, and it was
Wally were?
What's that?
You and Wally were in Art's basement?
No, we were all down there.
Yeah, we weren't alone. Cut it out.
Did you see the movie Sinners?
Like that.
Hey,
So we're downstairs, and everybody's taking their turn on the lead vocals, and Wally gets up and starts singing, and I look over at Chris Rhodes, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So that guy, he's like, every singer was that. It was just unbelievable amount of talent in that show. And Wally, that's when I met you, and you were fantastic.
Thank you.
We all kind of had that same experience. Although I will say, when we were talking about putting the Motown Coterie together, one of the first names that was tossed out was Wally. And
Really?
I had only known Wally through videos on YouTube, right?
Now please stand, remove your hats, and honor America with the presentation of our nation's flag. Performing the national anthem is Wally Swiatly.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly
reels and stuff would come up, and I was enamored by him. I mean, an amazing singer, you know. So yeah, as soon as we started planning this, Wally, I think I reached out to you on Messenger, right? And
Yeah.
you agreed to do it, and you said, "Well, if I'm going to sing, then you have to you have to get Regina Karma." And I was like, "Who's Regina Karma?" I mean, this whole thing. We'll talk about her another time, but
Sure.
yeah, my introduction to Wally was just, recent. This year was the first time I had an opportunity to meet him when we were preparing for the Coterie Motown event.
Who reached out to you, Mike, about me, or did you just not? You just kind
I
of
can't even
stumble.
remember.
Yeah.
Overwhelming web response for Wally.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I'd heard of you, right, Wally, and we have a little bit of a history. We'll talk about that. It's kind of interesting how Wally and I kind of crossed paths 15 years ago. We didn't even know it. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but I can't remember who brought your name up, but I mean, once I heard you singing, it was like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. And it's funny, Bongo, when you said that, when I first started putting, the concept together for the Motown event, I was talking to Mike Hansen, the drummer, Jerome Cunningham, bass player, right? And they were kind of my guys to help build this. And if you know Jerome, he's in a band called the Funk Brothers. He's a little funkier than I am, right? I'm a white guy, okay? And Jerome, he's a soulful black brother, man. And it's funny because I remember him saying, "Are you sure you want to do this, Mike? You sure because there's not a lot of people out there that do Motown." And I'm like, I want to do this. So Jerome and I kind of had this little running joke, like, what is this going to sound like? With no offense to all my white people, with a bunch of white people singing Motown, And I remember when Wally started singing, Jerome just looked at me and his jaw dropped. So he got the
Really?
seal of approval from Jerome. I was like, we got this now, man.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to go out there. I just
Yeah.
did, but I mean, I certainly didn't want to put any pressure on anybody. But now it's kind of our running joke. Jerome will say to me, "Mike, whatever you want to do, I trust you." Once I was able to pull up the Motown thing with a bunch of white people,
It's in Dermont we trust.
That's
in
great.
Vermont, we trust. Yeah. So, Wally, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Hold on, before we go any further.
Okay.
I see trains. Talk to me.
Oh,
Oh, back there.
Yeah.
That's my hobby.
On top, I mean,
Yeah. Let's see.
can you send
Yeah.
food down with it?
yeah, that's
No,
right.
but that would be great if a little elevator.
Couple beers?
Yeah, I got a couple small N scale layouts in here. That one up there just goes in a loop. And then there's one behind me here that's kind of an end to end kind of industrial thing with switching and all that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
Cool. That's awesome.
It's funny as a kid, and I don't know if Pete and Mike, you were this way. I mean, it was either a racetrack or a train track. We always wanted that, right? And I used to, and my parents got me some cheap thing, a Tyco or whatever the hell it was. That thing was destroyed within a few hours. Wally, man, you've let your childhood just kind of go into your adulthood, man. It's awesome.
Well, man, hey, you got to do what you want to do. You only
That's
live
it,
once. I mean, it's like I need hobbies.
It's a hell of a hobby too.
Got to be
I mean,
expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Real expensive.
It's ridiculous now. But yeah. Well, why do you think I sing on the side? No, I'm kidding. That's
Mikey
part of it.
Dermont, you brought up as a kid, on the wish list, you would run for that Sears catalog. And when you got done with the lingerie section, you'd look at the slot cars.
I always did it backwards, man. I'd start with lingerie and work my way to the toys.
That's all we had. Okay.
That's what we had.
Speaking of which, Rhodesey, welcome to the show.
Sears or Montgomery Wards, man. We used to always do the Montgomery Wards catalog. Hey, Rhodesey, what's up, brother?
Not much is going on, guys. I'm afraid, what I walked into there, lingerie and toys.
We're talking about trains.
Trains, planes,
Sure.
and automobiles.
And not the band.
Nice.
Right?
Oh, we have a story about Train the Band, too. What a nice segue.
Oh, I didn't plan that.
You did it perfectly. Wally actually had an opportunity to sing with how is it, Pat Monahan? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Had an opportunity to sing with the lead singer of Train one time, and
Tell us about that.
I think you blew him away. Yeah, tell us the story.
It's something I'll never forget. It was kind of a neat thing. So I gotta learn how to tell my stories quick because I'm a lot.
It's okay. We got an
Don't
Um,
worry
hour.
about it.
Okay.
Miracle of editing. Go ahead.
True. So yeah, well, here's the thing. My sister worked for God, she just finished working for Tom Ricketts before he owned the Cubs. Before he owned the Cubs, he has an investment company, and way back would have at the House of Blues Chicago every year he would have a gathering, I guess you could call it an event for everybody to come, all of his, all of the people that invest for him, and he would have a big band. And the one year I heard Train was going to be there, I'm like, I love Train. I had said to and I never bugged my sister with this, but I'm like, I love Train. Can I just want to come, because I'm not part of her company or anything. She's like, yeah, I'll invite you. So she invited like a lot of the family, right? Anyway, we get there. Because it was a private party. We're sitting in a booth up, one of those higher booths up at the House of Blues. And anyway, I make a joke to my family up there. I go, hey, I think you could hear him behind the curtain starting to come out and play a little bit. And I'm like, I'm going to go down there in case they call me up. And they all like laughed, right? So I go down there and they're getting ready to play. I met a couple other women that my sister knew, and they were asking what I do. And I told them about my daytime job, singing, blah, 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 whatever. Didn't think much of it. He opens up the curtains. They do one song, and then the second song they asked to get a singer up there, right? And of course, I'm raising my hand, going, "I'll never get called. I'll never get called." And these two women are screaming at the top of their lungs. They're telling him, "Oh, this guy can sing. This guy sings." Sure enough, he points at me, calls me up there, and this was the funniest part. Instead of going around up the steps, I guess there's stairs over there with security. The first thing I thought of when he pointed at me and said, "Come on up," I'm like, "Let's effing do this." I jumped up, my younger self up, went straight up on the stage and popped up there. And Pat Monahan's like, "Okay, well, okay, you could have come around." Anyway, the song starts playing, and he had a lyric sheet, and I started singing. Yeah, I mean, I know if you've seen the video, you've seen the rest, but it just felt good for me doing what we all do to not so much the validation from him, but more like, hey man. And back then, for 29 years, I was doing the corporate thing, for many years, like every weekend. And our gigs aren't like, bands that do original tunes, or even like, we would go straight 3 hours through sometimes in these weddings and these corporate events, 4-hour gigs, and working way harder than these guys, obviously. I mean, during the show, but I know they travel a lot and it takes up more time than that. But just great to be up there and just, do the same. Hey man, I'm like, this is what I do every week, just like you. It's like, this is what we do, and I couldn't wait. And he is one of my favorite singers. And it was such a blast, and just for him to be that blown away. I mean, I know he's a stage guy too, and he was kind of funny.
It was hilarious because he's like, "You're not supposed to be that good."
Yeah.
He wanted somebody to get up there and suck, and that didn't happen. Wally crushed it, man.
And here's the thing, what's funny? I found out like he didn't know what was going on. He thought, here's the thing, after the show, I heard he was going to come out, meet people at the party. He never did, but I was talking with his keyboard player at the time. I guess he's still with him. He plays sax and keys for them. And I asked him if he was coming out. He's like, no. I go, but he was saying he was like, I don't know what's going on. Like he thought somebody was playing a joke on him, having me come out there like it was planned. And I started laughing like you guys. I'm like, no, it wasn't planned. I just raised my hand. But it's funny, right after I was done singing the first verse, I don't think you can hear him say to the two girls, do you hear that? He says to the two, "You two girls come up here too." He goes, "I don't know who you guys are, but you're drunk, and that's what I like about you the most." That was my favorite part.
That's
Not
great.
even like me, like, anyway. Yeah.
I
And so
didn't see the video. What was the song you sang?
Don't stop believing. It was a
Oh,
journey.
okay.
Don't stop
I got you.
believing. Yeah.
Well, one more quick thing is, after I was done and then the girls were done with the second verse, while they were singing the second verse, I turned to his guitarist who's not with him any longer, looks just like, bald like me. I'm like, can I use your mic? Because I'm like, I got one shot up here. Let's keep going. Because every weekend, I don't sing lead. At that time, we would do Don't Stop Believing, but I would do like a really high harmony on the choruses and even out at the end. And it was fun because I get over there. You can't see this on the video. I didn't expect any of this to happen. But anyway, I start singing harmony to them singing the lead, and I'm way up there. And I don't know how much they can hear anyway, but I look over like, is this okay towards Pat Monahan? And he's just like, his face was like, who the, what's going on?
Who the hell are you?
And I don't mean this in any kind of a bragging or cocky way, but it was a really neat experience, man. I'm driving
That's
home
awesome.
going, thank you.
Yeah,
I needed that.
You crushed it, man.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Fantastic.
Very cool. We'll
Yeah,
have to find that. We'll have to find that video. Wall, if you have it, send it over to Pete so we can make
Yeah.
sure we get it up there for those who haven't seen it. It's not only is it good, it has that bit of humor. It's funny. It's like you guys rehearsed it. I mean, that's probably Pat's like,
I know.
what's going on here.
I'm
But I
too-
know you didn't. I know you didn't.
I'm too honest. Like
Yeah.
I can't tell anybody anymore if they see this podcast out there,
Right.
but I tell them it was all planned. Like, what a great show, man. I'm so glad he had me on there with him. Yeah.
So Wally, I mean, for a lot of, I think of our viewers and really the people here on the podcast today, you're kind of you're new. I know you've been around for a while, right?
Mhm.
And I want to talk about that. How long have you been around? Because I just discovered you within the last year, and I wish I would have known years ago because you're the kind of, not only are you a hell of a nice guy, I think we've built a great, friendship since doing the Coterie, but man, I wish I could have gone out and seen more of your events, man. Talk to us about how you got started and, all that stuff. What got you to where you're at here?
So like if you go way back, I guess in the early 90s, well, my older brother, I have a couple of brothers that were musicians, but back in the early 90s, I started, actually late 80s, started writing a lot music. I started writing my songs on a little what were those things called? The little keyboards, the
Casio?
Casio, but then moved up to an M1 pretty quick. But that's how I got started. And I was working with a guy, Jeff Megan, he's also a musician in Chicago here. But he's gone on to continue writing and writes a ton of music for movies and TV shows. But we wrote about over 50 songs in about 5 years before each of us kind of got married, started families. But we recorded out in California some cuts. We had a lot of stuff air on soap operas. And shortly after that, though, mid 90s, I started working, and I worked in two corporate bands, as I said, for like 29 years up until about roughly a year and a half ago. But that wasn't all I did. I had another original project way back called Excessive. We were playing out, but I was primarily not in the cover scene, I was, but only doing big corporate band, 12-piece band things and covering all ranges of stuff, from Uptown Funk to Frank Sinatra, Fly Me to the Moon, to, old R&B Motown. And I think that's where I get all that experience from. But yeah, I mean, it kind of, so I don't know, about 2-3 years. Now, me and Tom Urich have been doing an acoustic thing on and off for about almost 13 years now. He kind of came to me. He found me and drew me out into learning more about all of you guys throughout the years. And we just did a duo thing. It was just called Me, Wally Swiatly. And then roughly 2 years ago, I put together a full band of Simply Wally, but it didn't work out. It wasn't panning out real well. And we started doing some of the bars and stuff. And then it's just recently, over like the last year and a half, gone mainly acoustic. And and I do some restaurants, which are a lot of fun because some people like my stories. I got some stories. And so, I mean, that's the short of all of it. And it's kind of how I got here. And I think one of the first, I knew Tom and I knew a bunch of other people from 12, 13 years back and have gradually, we were doing a lot of country too for a while in R&B. And I actually met Pino, got over 8 or 9 years ago when he was just coming back into the scene, Pino Farina, and nobody really knew who he was. Because I went to downtown Crystal Lake to see another friend's band. I can't remember the name of that bar, but they didn't start till later, and I was there early, just wanted to get out of the house. Went over to Duke's downtown Crystal Lake, and there was this band, on the little stage. I'm sure you guys have played that too.
Duke O'Brien's.
Duke O'Brien's.
Oh, yeah.
I've been up on that little stage with a band called Liberty's Teeth. I was in a band named Liberty's Teeth years ago. I don't know if you guys ever heard any of
Just
them.
a little note. I was born and raised in Crystal Lake, Illinois.
Yeah. So there I see. So I'm hanging out watching Pino. I'm watching all four of them on the little stage going like what the hell? So he explained to me, I met him the next day and he was telling me they were, they all been playing since high school, started families. I go, I could relate, and then they took this long break and then they made a comeback. And I said to him, I go, well, it ain't going to take long.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't. And that is the God's honest truth. I'm like, yeah, this dude's got the whole, the look and everything.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Yeah, asshole.
Pino, we love you.
We love him.
In case you listen to this, there's a little shout out to
Him
you.
and Jeff Anthony.
And his amigos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
What the hell is with these amigos?
I don't know. The three
Dan
amigos.
Peters. I love Dan Peters.
Dan Peters, man. What a trip. We'll talk about that. I saw them this weekend. It was a
Excuse me.
fun show yesterday.
Yeah, I almost went. But that's the short of it. That's kind of, I've done a lot of other things along that ride, but that I thank the Lord were awesome things,
Were you tired of playing in the corporate band just because of the grind and having to always work weekends and I mean, it seems kind of almost, well, I mean, it's obviously it pays well, but did you find that when you were playing the bars, you had more satisfaction than you did when you were doing the corporate stuff?
I guess, to answer that, I would say that what was going on, I'll tell you what, I never thought I would quit doing the corporate thing really, but because one thing I always enjoyed, and I still do, even if I sub, is being able to sing. I mean, all those years of singing couples' first dances, father to, I mean, that's great. But there are a lot of musicians who really, I don't know, but from what I hear, I've even seen and subbing in other wedding bands, like I don't think they ever really appreciated that portion of it, which I thought was great, just to be a part of that. Yeah. It's their first dance, whatever. But aside from that, there were a couple of things. Both my kids, I mean, they're mid upper 20s now. They're moved out, and most of that, because I do work full time, but most of that that was a godsend, that extra money, getting them through college, it made it a heck of a lot easier than if I didn't have that, which is why I stuck with it as long as I did. And then finally I realized, and I think COVID was a big part of that too, realizing when our 300 or 400, our weddings were huge, North Shore, you name it, downtown, these people had money, and they were huge. It was like 500 people at these weddings. And I realized when we weren't doing those, I'm like, I could do one of two things, I could keep doing this, but I stopped doing it because I didn't need, I could keep doing it and put that money away for retirement or just enjoy life today and do more things with my wife and not have to be under a contract to be somewhere every time I have to be there,
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love what I'm doing now. It's great. I'm not singing the same 12 songs anymore.
Well, to Mike's point, it's a different. I'm going to assume it's a different kind of satisfaction. I love your spin that you put on it. You're part of someone's memory, right?
It's true. It's the best thing.
And I never thought about that before, but when I hear people talk about, we did a wedding gig. I remember once we did a bat mitzvah, which was interesting, right?
Those are interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they are, but and it was awesome because it was fun to see, the kids having a good time.
Yeah.
But when you're the entertainment in that setting, that's all you are. I mean, you're in the background. Whereas when we do our shows, people are coming out to see us. Now, I never want to upstage the bride and groom. Well, maybe I do. I kind of want that attention. That's just I'm a lead singer, man. But I always thought like that would be very difficult for me because I've always performed on stage to go into those settings where you're just you're an afterthought. Now, I'm not saying your band was, but in general, right?
Yeah, sure.
Most entertainment
Background noise.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I can say this much about that band Indigo. That is one of the most amazing bands I've ever been a part of. First of all, the company, I started with Arlen Music. This guy has a lot of really good talent he brings in, but that doesn't, we're all really good. All of us are great talents. But we ended up being like, we started the band regrouped that he put together in 2010. And by a year later, he had sent an email out to our band saying, you guys are in the 25 years I've been in business with all the bands I've had, because he's probably still got about 5 or 6 bands that he does this with. He goes, you guys were the fastest growing. You guys have like so many. So the word of mouth was crazy. And like you said, Mike, here's an interesting thing. After about a couple years, I'd walk into a country club or I'd head to the bathroom to get my tie on or whatever, finish up dressing before a gig. Several times this would happen. And they would say that, oh my gosh, we can't wait to see you guys. And it's a wedding. And I remember laughing. I remember giggling underneath going, well, this is a pretty good thing. So
that's awesome.
So it wasn't really.
You should have charged them a couple extra bucks.
I think the singers, the singers, there's like 4 singers. So it was great. We had harmonies and everything. Yeah. And I think that was a big part of it. Is like, you know how it all is. I mean, sorry to all the singers are all of a sudden become this face, but I don't look at a band that way ever. Mm-hmm. I'm a musician like everybody else.
Exactly.
I have no ego because all of that together, when we're all working together, man, and we're feeling it, there ain't nothing better than that.
Magic.
Man.
That chemistry, baby.
And I felt that at Coterie, man. You guys, it was awesome. The energy was great. I think I told you, Mike, I go at Coterie. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you're saying, everybody asked me to say it right. Say it any way you want.
We all say it. If you ask Bongo Mike, Dermont, and myself, we'd all say it 3 different ways.
And it's not the diapers.
It's not,
yeah.
I saw that diaper commercial the other day. I was laughing. I think it's hilarious. We are full of shit though sometimes, so got that in common.
Heavy duty.
Well, let me know if I'm talking too much.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Wally, what I want to know is you brought up corporate band, and just to be clear, what do you define a corporate band? Is that something where you're not overworked and you're getting paid correctly?
You're only working 9 to 5.
I don't know. For me, it's always been. I know I'm under contract. They pay me, every 2 weeks if we've had gigs. It's just very. It seems like a professional.
Under contract. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I can't.
More like a job.
Yeah, because
you're working for a company, basically.
Listen, throughout those years, I had several people come up and ask me to join in their cover bands, and we could do bars and stuff. And I did that a couple of times, only throwing out there that like if the company that I'm with has a gig, and it's like I can't cancel if it's. I mean, the only way I could cancel if it was within, I don't know, a certain amount of time, but it was just like, you kind of have to do it.
So XYZ company contracts with you. You're now working for XYZ company, an entertainment company. They're out booking corporate events, weddings, whatever on your behalf. So when you say event, that's what you mean.
Okay.
So it could be a cruise. It could be doing a company annual party, galas, things of that nature.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly right.
They tell you to go, you go.
Fundraisers. And I loved it for years. Like I said, it was great. But
from what I understand, it's good money, right? I mean, it got your kids through college, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why do the bars?
Why do the bars?
Oh, and I've done plenty of those.
With the bars, you have to do the promoting. With the corporate events, it's a guaranteed crowd, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a wedding of 250 or 500 people or a corporate event that they're doing for their sales team or whatever, and that's
Heck yeah.
150, 200 people that are there.
That's the life. You spend the money on gig salad, you get the leads, and you farm it out, and you keep the nut. That's America.
You
man.
know who's got the best of that is Richie from Seventh Heaven, man, because he's got a lot of those corporate gigs tied up, and he's got the festivals and he's got the bars. Richie has done it right for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if that's all you're doing.
That's
Like
it.
if I lose my job, I'm gonna start heading that way till I fall over and die.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, it's crazy.
So, what's your favorite gig to work then? Like, what type of an event?
Oh, back then I think I really liked yeah, this is on. Yeah, no.
What, bachelor party?
That question.
No, the out of town ones
Bachelorette
were
party.
the out of
Yeah,
town
right.
ones were always pretty cool. We did a lot out of town. Two years in a row, we he put his best bands together, and two of them went to Vegas for New Year's Eve. Man, that was a trip. I was singing leads and doing some minimal choreography placement with LA dancers. That was really cool. I felt like, and they had these long catwalks. It was a big ballroom at Mandalay Bay, and when they were starting to play like "Fly Me to the Moon" and all this Sinatra stuff, my feet were killing me after 5 hours straight. Dress shoes and all.
That is
I love it.
That was fun too. But yeah, those were my favorite kind of. The out of town ones were pretty cool. You know.
Bigger productions, right? I mean, man,
Yeah.
it sounds like a big production.
Yeah, that was a big production.
Now you're putting on a show. Now you got to be the showman, not just singing.
Yeah, it was
You gotta
great.
do the moves. Yeah,
That's great. I mean, we kind of do that anyway, regardless of where we are, right?
That's true.
Well, where are you now?
What's that?
Take us
Where-
up. We're in 2025. Where are you
What's
at
Wally
now?
doing now in 2025?
Simply Wally. So, here, yeah, I don't know how to say this, but it's like to all my musician friends, there are a couple places that, that I love playing, and they don't pay super great, and I wouldn't even ask another musician to come out for such little cash. And I myself may not, and I hope that doesn't sound wrong, but let me explain. So a couple of years ago, I'd been doing this Mez Restaurant in Schaumburg, right? I've been doing it since maybe 2018. And my good buddy Zoe Witz, guitarist, would come out, do those with me quite a bit, especially through COVID when they kept their doors open and we weren't doing anything. Well, they, great place. They wanted to cut back a little bit. So what I did was one of the managers there's like, you could always sing the tracks. I'm like, I don't want to sing the tracks. Right. And so I gave it a shot. Right. And it worked out all right. It worked out pretty well, actually. In the end, I think I put like $100 into, don't laugh at me, guys. We might have to cut this.
No, man, not now.
Whoa.
Not now that you said that. It's going. You put $100 into tracks.
I hope, I'm trying to be fair here. Oh, and to myself too, and to everybody else when I'm explaining this. So yeah, I put about $100 into a karaoke thing, $100 into tracks. So it's about $200, a couple other little audio things to hook up to my board. And it was like, I went and did it for the first time. And I felt like I was like the first time up on stage. I'm like, how are people going to react when tracks are playing behind me,
Mm-hmm.
Because I was kind of like, I don't know, right? Well, the night turned out being really good. There were a lot of people in there, and I discovered that I could go on YouTube too and just call up anything anybody wanted to hear. I mean, I have so much information up here by memory. It's ridiculous on songs, like all genres of songs. And anyway, that kind of happened. The night ends. I know how much they paid me, and I count in the tip jar. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now it hasn't happened that way every time, but I remember me counting it, going, my head's just like, Well, I'm on to something here. I mean, I had to share that. I'm such an honest
No,
guy.
but here's the thing though, Wally.
You know,
You did it.
I have written songs. I've played
Yeah.
guitar on them. I've played keys on them. Really, I cannot do both. I have never really worked hard at that. I love singing the most. I used to love writing. I mean, I'm involved in a few other projects too, which I should tell you guys about in a minute. But yeah, I mean, I hate that I tell other music. I don't even want to ever tell any of you guys.
So
You're on a
I've been to that
podcast, hell.
restaurant. That restaurant's very good. It's Mediterranean food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just you now with tracks when you do it. You don't go with any accompaniment.
Yeah, and I'm about to start bringing accompaniment back in there. I got to set up more dates, but we've talked about it, and uh, they really like me there, and anytime I mention I want to bring in somebody to accompany me again, they're like, I think it's going to work out now. They were just cutting back a little bit for a
Yeah.
little while, so I want to do that. And when I trust me when I say I don't want to do that all the time. No way. I don't care how much it pays, how much little it pays. I'm going to find a way to make it work, and because I really like having like guitar, keys, whatever. But I do like that. That's kind of where I'm at right now. That little storytelling, sing a song. This song brings me back here, or what do you like? What do you want to hear? Kind of thing.
So, Wally, is it
It's
safe?
new to me.
Are,
It's a new
are
thing.
most of your gigs now then are they the restaurant gigs? Are you doing any other performances like I know you've done the Arcada a few times. Talk
Yeah.
about, what other places, well, talk about the Arcada and then some of the other places that you might be playing.
Well, Joey DeMarco, I've known Joey for at least
Yeah.
2 decades because he was helping me get into some really nice, remember the Double Door, Cubby Bear? When I had an original band, he was helping out there a lot. So when I started calling out to him again about 2.5, 3 years ago, he lets me just kind of call in and say, hey, you got anything? And he's been getting me more and more local. So I'll call Tom Urich most of the time because we kind of have a country, classic, little bit of classic rock and R&B thing that we do. And Joey gets us into Nico's, out in Woodstock. He's getting me out to Nico's Grill. He's going to hook me up out here with these are all Tom gigs. We're going to just do duos, I love them. So it's a slow progression. Do I want to do full band stuff like what you guys are doing? Hell yeah, I do. But I don't know how much, but everybody's got their own thing going on. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Here, sprinkle
That
there,
reminds me,
sprinkle
I'm going to
there.
digress here a little bit. So I mentioned earlier about
I'm feeling it out. That's what I'm doing.
I mentioned earlier how our paths almost crossed about 15 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Totally unbeknownst to me. So, going back down to Art's basement, I think that's when you told me that. We're down there rehearsing for the Coterie, and Wally goes to me, he goes, Mike, I knew of you about 15 years ago from the band Friction. I go, yeah, I was a lead singer. He goes, I actually tried out for the band Friction before I got the gig. So I always like to tell the story that I got the gig that Wally didn't get.
I know.
Yeah, good story.
Yeah, Tommy likes that too, right?
Yeah, which it blew me away. I knew that they were trying out different singers, and I have no idea why it didn't happen. I'm very happy that it didn't happen because I had 12 really good years with that band. But
I know.
I would love, we're doing a Friction reunion. That'd be fun to get you out there and throw you up on stage and have you say,
Yeah.
here's the guy I beat out.
Guys, I'm saying it right now, man. If I can do it, I'll
that would
do
be
whatever
so
you guys ever want. Like
Yeah.
jump in. And I try to get out. A lot of the bands that I've been going to, I go out and see when I have a weekend off, I'll go out and see, maybe your band or his band or
Right.
I love live music when I don't have to get up there. And a lot of times I'll say, if they didn't know I was coming and they want me to come up there, I'll be like, no, man, but you can. I'm just saying most of the time they'll be like,
I'm the same way. You don't want to be that guy that's like, no, I don't want to go on stage because you don't want to be a dick, right? If they're asking you to come up there. But you also don't want to be the guy that gets up there and sings, right? Because then you're like, oh, look at Mr. Showboat here, right?
yeah. But then what happens? You get up there and you showboat it.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah,
Well,
give
we
it all
gotta
you
get
got.
Pete
That's
to
your
edit
job.
that
You're
out,
supposed
Mike,
to.
because Jeff's going to see that now. It would have been a much better effect if Jeff actually would have seen you invite Wally to this. And
Well,
Wally
it's funny because Jeff and I talked about it. I'm like, hey, do you remember this Wally guy? Yeah, I remember that guy. He was a great singer. I'm like, he was a great singer. He is a great singer, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I knew Adam too, but I haven't heard from him in years. He was the singer before for you. Right?
That's right. Adam had a great
That
voice.
was the guy.
I never had a chance to meet Adam, but I learned all of the songs that Friction was doing because they would take like, some Mamas and the Papas and other songs.
I know.
Make it their own. And Adam was the bassist, the template that I was using to sing it that way. And
that's cool.
They were doing some really cool shit.
They were. And I saw them before this whole time before we either one of us tried out. I saw them at Lake in the Hills Festival in the summer,
right.
and I'm watching it and I'm like, man, this guy's got a good voice. And then when they did Vehicle, I was like, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
But no horns.
They totally no. Well, Barry Godolsky did it all on the guitar, man, and then
it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool stuff.
But that's another. That's a cool thing. Vehicle. What a great song! It's one of my favorite songs.
Awesome song, man. Yeah.
But that's kind of what I've been doing now. I mean, just feeling it out. I'm working. I don't know if any of you guys know Ron Barnes. He's a drummer.
I know I've seen the name, but I don't know him.
Don't know him yet.
So he reached out to me. I don't know if any of you guys know Mike Aquino too. And I've known Mike for a long time. Mike plays, and I pretty much know Jim Peterick's band when he goes and does his
World Stage,
Survivor World Stage, which I've done with them before, but I've done other gigs with Lisa McClary, who does this share thing. I don't know if you've seen her online, but anyway, Ron Barnes is kind of part of that group. But Ron Barnes reaches out to me about I'm just bringing this up because I've written a lot of original stuff, but this stuff's really cool. And he emailed me about during COVID, and I saw he's like, hey, are you interested in singing some tracks on some original stuff I'm doing, and my head's going, oh man, here we go again. I shouldn't say no. I don't like to say no to anything, right? So I'll just say yes. And he wanted me to send him some stuff. He said he got my name from Mike Aquino. I sent him some stuff. He's like, oh my gosh, you're exactly what we want. We want like kind of a rock soulful thing, like what's his name from Foreigner? Lou Graham. I was kind of looking for that, and I'm like, that's cool because he's one of my favorites. So, but literally this stuff we've been working on it. He's been working on it on and off, and I've been recording the tracks for about. I thought it'd be done by now, but he continues to write. But he's got nine tracks that are just being finished up now, and he's sending them to me. And I wish I could share them. I can't wait to share them with everybody because it's really cool shit. It has a little twist on some newer stuff, but it's got some old classic feel, like it's just really cool stuff. And I'm just proud to be on it. I mean, he's got some really good players on it too, I guess. I don't know the guys, but it sounds great.
Awesome.
This guy Joey Vanna is the producer, and I guess his dad used to tour with
Mecca.
Used to tour with Toto on the road.
Yeah, he's also in the band. I think it's called Mecca. Is the
band?
Yeah.
Yeah. He would sing all the high.
Oh, he's got an amazing voice. Now his name I know it's Von.
I've never met him, but
great guy. I can't remember his first name though. Is it Joe? Is it Joey and Joe's?
Maybe he's a junior. Maybe
yeah,
Joe's a
I don't
junior.
know, but I know who you're talking about. Guy's got amazing, but you would never. It's like one of those guys you see him. It's like how that voice shouldn't be coming out of that person. He doesn't have that look, but man, when he's up there, he's got that high register. Just every note is pretty. He lands every one of them perfectly.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to share that stuff with you guys when it comes out.
Well, if you're ever going to sell out, what tribute band would you do?
I've been asked this recently. That's a tough one for me. I love how you said sell out because I love to sing everything. What tribute band would I do?
Well,
I'm gonna.
What genre is it going to be? Like your soulful stuff, or is it going to be rock, or is it going to be country?
It's.
Do you want to make money or not make money? Well,
yeah, that's right.
I do. I
No
do.
pressure.
So I've been talking to my wife about this, and my full-time job could be on the brink, and I'm like, I said, "Hun, if that happens, I gotta hop on a tribute band."
That's the wagon to be on right now. So
It seems
what's it going to be, Wally? What's it
I
gonna
don't know.
be?
It's hard, man. It's almost like it's really hard because I like everything.
Foreigner cover band.
See now, you have to, I, as a singer, have to put into perspective how often I'd be singing that high stuff
That's right.
and how long I want to keep the voice I have at, 58 and a half years old.
Oh, you're old, dude.
So, all right, I'm gonna give you some ideas. This wouldn't be the number one, but Huey Lewis in the News would be cool because all the horns and it's got a little R&B, little.
Hey, I gotta
That
tell you,
is a great freaking answer. There is nobody doing Huey Lewis in the News. I think that would crush.
I got to tell you something. I do know that Soundtracks of a Generation was talking about adding that into their repertoire of bands.
Is that the same group that Rob
James.
Rob
Davis?
He's with that.
Oh, Rob Calabro. Yes.
Calabro. He's with
yes.
that group, right? Because he went to Mez a couple weeks ago when I was there. We were talking about it, and he says, I got to hook you up with this guy. Yep. And he talked about that.
Chris
and I also,
Forte.
Oh, I know Chris.
Yeah, so
Chris was in Arlen Music for years too.
Yeah, so Chris Forte is a part of Soundtracks of a Generation. I met him when we did the Woodstock show, and I was talking to Doug James, and he said they're one of the concepts they're doing. If you go look at Soundtracks of a Generation, there's 18 bands umbrellaed under there. Matter of fact, we just had Todd Lazar and Zach Avery on, and they're doing a Tedeschi Trucks cover band. That was the newest one that got added, but there's been word that they're going to do a Huey Lewis in the News.
There you go.
Might come true.
Well, it was funny because the first time Mike asked me the same. I'm sorry, Rob asked me this. Rob Calabro. He asked me the same question when he was there before I started that night, and I said, "Well, here's the problem. I'm not African American because I would do anything, I would hop on the Cool in the Gang. I would hop on any of that.
Al Green, you crush it, dude. I mean,
Wild Cherry.
You're one of those guys.
Yeah, Wild Cherry would be good.
You're one of those guys that they sing. I'm like, how does that voice come out of that person? Especially not the rock stuff. White guys sing rock and roll,
right?
But when you sing that soul, I'm telling you, man, it just, dude, it's not human. I don't know how you do it.
It's chills.
It just comes out.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's all soul and feel, really. I don't know. I won't pump myself. I won't build myself
Don't
up.
worry, I do it for you when you're not around.
So you do Huey
I talk
Lewis
about you
to
all the
answer
time.
question? Huey Lewis, yes.
Huey Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sing any of his stuff right now, but there's so much of it I remember and I know. Oh my God, with all the horns going in that, I'd be on fire. I would love to hear all that.
That'd be great. There you go.
You would crush it.
Wally Lewis in the News.
Who are we sending this over to now over at Soundtracks?
Well, I could send it to Doug James. I could send the suggestion.
Another good one though. Before I forget, Phil Collins.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, look, my head's shaved. I already I could do.
Can you play the drums though? Can you play the drums?
Got to be a little more decrepit. You'll be all right.
Oh, dude, really?
Yeah, I went.
Man, Pete.
All right, we'll edit that on post. No, we won't.
It's terrible.
No,
I'm gonna start crying. Oh my God.
So Beth Miller, she gets very excited when she invites the new guests on, and she was very excited about having you come on, and she wanted to remind us in our little group thing to make sure that we ask you about the Mike Reno story.
Oh yeah.
Story.
Yeah, I told her it's kind of funny. So this was Jim Peterick's World Stage Show. I did it one year because the guy he went with back then, Peterick, was a really good friend of his, close to the same age. I guess he used to do a lot of backup vocals for him, but he was sick. So Leslie, this other singer I know that worked at Arlen at the time, messaged me, so I got to go do it. And at first, once again, this is how I think. And she knew me, and she texts right after that. She goes, "Do you want to do this show?" Blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, okay, and then she says, there's going to be a lot of high profile musicians and stuff on this gig. And I'm like, okay. So I said, yeah, I don't know who's on it. Anyway, Mike Reno was one of them, along with Kelly Keegy from
Night Ranger.
Night Ranger, and one of my favorite singers too from my younger years is David Pack of Ambrosia. I mean, this was again one of those really neat experiences. Like, how did I get here, kind of thing. Anyway, long story short, Mike Reno had. They were all great. They were all great guys, but Mike Reno had the most like we're talking right here. Like, I mean, I've met you guys a few times, but we've never even got to do this together, and we're really just shooting the crap, right? Well, he was automatically like that, like Mike Reno, and all of his stuff he's done. Here he is. He's just chatting, shooting the shit with me, And he's telling me a bunch of funny stuff. Then we're eating dinner, right? And he starts to tell me, he goes, hey, he goes, did I ever tell you about my first band? I'm like, well, I mean, I just met you. And he goes,
it's a little early.
And he's a tall guy too, right? But anyway, he goes, this was the funny story. He goes, when I was about 12 years old, and we literally had a garage band, and we were playing in the garage, and I was the drummer. I was a drummer back then, and I had this toy kit. And we started rocking out. We were talking about what we wanted to name our band, And he said, hey, we were thinking about it, and we jammed some more songs, and he was playing he was playing this drum kit so hard, he broke the kick drum. It like popped right through, and he said, "Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we call ourselves the Broken Kick Drums?" And they're all like, "Yeah." And that was his story. I know you guys were maybe expecting more, but his delivery, I mean, that guy could have did comedy, man. He made me. I was in tears. Like I almost choked on my food, like. And then I ran into him before the show, we all go to the bathroom so that we could stay up there a long time drinking liquids. We were in there and we were washing up, and I said and I said to Mike, I go, man, it's pretty cool, that like, what is it like, man? You're still coming out doing all these cool things. This is great, and and he goes, I'm just thankful people are still calling me out to do what I did several years ago.
That's awesome.
He was just like, we're older now. Let's put it that way. He was just thankful to go. And I guess the following year, Mike Aquino, the guitarist, he said, Wally, man, he goes, it was so funny. This year, he says,
decline that.
He's, yeah, no.
That.
Oh, you guys hear that? You guys maybe didn't hear that. My phone.
We didn't hear it. No.
Oh,
we thought maybe we had another train coming in on track 9. You declined to go to track 8.
So anyway, really quick, this is the last of it. He said the following year, Mike Reno goes, hey, Mike, to Mike Aquino, he goes, check this out. And they were rehearsing, and he says, I can't hit those high notes anymore. I'm done. I ain't doing it. He said he had I've never seen, maybe you guys have seen this trigger thing that he could sing at a lower an octave, and it would just raise his voice way up to the same key like he used to sing, and he thought it was the funniest thing. Like it was like robotic.
There's guys that use those today on stage, and you could see them. It's so obvious.
Is it weird? Okay.
They'll either turn around and do it, but you can always see their foot stomp, and it's like, oh, you got that high note, did you? Anyway, I can't hit the high notes anymore, so I don't even try.
Well, hold on now. Is that cheating? Can you do that?
That is cheating. That is.
What about if it's a wedding? Nobody cares at a wedding.
A wedding, yeah.
If you're getting paid $200 at a bar,
well, that's
bitch.
Yeah, I only see it at bars.
It's interesting.
A lot of full production at weddings. It's usually a pretty polished production.
So, Wally, what you got coming up?
Let's see. What do I got coming up? I'm gonna look at my phone.
All right.
Decline that next call.
Well, we're looking. Anybody got any thoughts on Three Amigos? I don't think we've thoroughly.
So I saw them yesterday.
Hilarious.
I had a chance to see the Three Amigos, and it was a very entertaining show. A lot of talent on that stage with Rich Sawyer, Peters, and Pino. And plus, Dan Peters' band was there, the drummer and the bass player. I don't know their names.
Janice Whalen on bass.
Oh my God, is she amazing?
She's
Holy
a great
shit.
bass player. Yeah.
Dude, she was fantastic. And the drummer was fantastic as well. But it was great. It was, I think at first they seemed a little bit nervous coming out, because it's not something they do all the time. But I would say
Pants were too tight.
yeah, that could have been it.
They removed
Or the
them.
cummerbunds. But I think about 3 or 4 songs in it, they kind of found their own and they loosened up, and it was a fun show. It really.
But I always ask Dan. I go, Dan, you're having another Three Amigos show. Where's the singing bush? She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around when she comes. I love that
I
movie.
think we just found
Look
the
up-
fourth to the Three
Look up
Amigos.
here.
Wally, you can be the bush.
Wally Bush.
Did you just tap the button?
Uh-oh, did I hit something?
Yeah, the high voice button.
The high voice.
Oh, you're coming around the mountain when she comes.
Oh man, I should have said that.
Very South Park, actually.
Yeah. And you talking like this.
I just love
Okay, Wally, not that you need the money, but if somebody wanted to book you,
Oh
where
my
do you
God,
go? You're
no.
not coming up.
Oh, now you're making it sound like
You're
You
big
know,
time.
you're buying trains and shit. That stuff's
I
not cheap.
do, man. All right, I'm
He's up
gonna
in a helicopter.
hang up now.
No. So how do they get in touch with Wally? If someone wants to book you or just follow you, whatever.
Well, the best place is probably my website at wallyswiatly.com. WALLYSWIATLY.com.
You got a lot of L's and Y's
Or-
in your name.
A lot of L's, a lot of Ys.
And then you got Simply Wally, more L's and Y's.
More L's, more walls, Y's.
On Facebook, Simply Wally's where you
Wheel of
you will
Fortune.
instantly see if you guys log on. If you guys join that group, you'll see the updated schedule every week.
What do you got
Yeah.
coming up this weekend?
What do I got? So this weekend I'm at Mez again, Schaumburg, and then let's see, it's going to be a busy couple months here. Let's see, Mez on the 10th of May, 17th. This is one you all should come out to.
All right.
It's actually a show. It's actually a show I booked as a
A really
quartet
big shoe. A really big.
at Baker Community Center on May 17th from 7:30 to 9.
That's in St. Charles, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to go online, buy tickets. But if you go to the Baker Community Center site, you can get the tickets there. You get a dinner, dancing, whole show,
Dinner
hour
and
and
a
a half.
show.
And then, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say Bongo Mike can go with his guys. They don't need a movie in a show. They can go see a Wally in a show. A Wally in a dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, I just totally
You
destroyed
guys
that.
go Dutch?
Can we edit that?
No.
Jeez.
I love you guys.
Oh,
is great.
We love ourselves
This is-
too.
Don't we all?
It's a good thing none of us are old on the show.
I know. So Wally, when's the next time you and Regina are going to be doing a duet thing?
We don't know.
That's
Hey,
gonna
Wally,
be-
I got a question.
We're trying to get Ron and Esty in to do your Coterie thing too.
I know.
Oh.
So, we
taking
just
a
let
while.
the cat out of the bag. So,
Mr. Balls.
Wally and Regina are working and behind the scenes to land me some opportunities at the Arcada with the Coterie. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he did mention he likes the idea, because it's for a good cause,
Yep.
and I knew that he would, but as Regina says too, it takes him a little while to come around.
It's okay.
So,
As long
but
as
I see it happening.
As long as
He's
those
actually,
meatballs are warm, we're fine.
yeah. I mean, and I see it happening. He's kind of
It's gonna happen.
slowly, yeah.
Hey,
hope
everything
so.
happens in due time.
Mhm.
So, Wally, you and Regina played over at the Arcada in the Speakeasy about, I don't know, maybe a month or a month and a half ago. And you guys were with a guitar player named
Johnny,
Johnny Martinez.
yeah, Johnny Martinez.
So
You know him?
Johnny Martinez is the guitar player for Black Diamond Sessions, one of them. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Yeah,
See,
it was.
but you guys have all these other connections that I don't know of. I know all
That's why
these
you're
other
on the
ones. There's so
podcast.
many.
That's what we're doing. We're letting
Beautiful.
Yeah, be part of the community, man.
He's another talented guy right there.
Isn't it crazy how
Amazing.
much talent we have in Chicago? And a lot of
He's-
times we don't know about it because
Yeah.
everyone's off doing their thing. We're kind of that conduit that brings it all together. We are the hub, and you guys are the spokes.
Yes, yes. Yeah, he's a really good guy. And I mean, he's been with Black Diamond now for probably about 6 months. We've got a rotating cast of guitar players, Sean McKee and Zach Avery, but Johnny's going to be with us at the end of this month,
Wow.
along with Mitch the Lip. So we got kind of a unique little Black Diamond show, Black Diamond Sessions show at the end of the month on the
That
25th.
sounds like a blast.
Yeah. It's the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend at Toadstool Pub. We're 3:30 to 6:30.
Yep.
So it's an earlier show. And yeah, he's just a really good guy. But it was weird because like I didn't picture Regina and you knowing him just in the short time I've known him, and all of a sudden you guys are playing at the Arcada. So how did that all come together? Was Regina the mastermind behind that?
Well, so we had been talking about so Ron isn't big on the tracks, which is great, right? Because I'm not for certain environments, I don't think that would have been good, and he doesn't want that there. So last minute, we were talking about who can we bring on this that might know a lot of the stuff we're gonna do like immediately because it was last minute. And we made a couple other calls, and then this Ruben, who played keys on us for us. I've known Ruben Augusta for a long time through other big bands, and when we reached out to him, he brought up Johnny Martinez because we wanted to have a guitarist in there too, and he sings too. It came about so fast. Like Regina remembered about Ruben, I didn't, and when she got a hold of him. I mean, it's just my mind is like all over.
So the Ruben story I have for you is they brought Ruben to the Wooden Nickel. Johnny knew him, and he gets up, and I ended up sitting on a couple songs. Give Me One Reason from Tracy Chapman, a couple other songs.
Yeah,
and he's such a great player. And then I realized he's the guy from the band Fuse, right?
Yeah, many different.
Yeah, he's great.
Power Play, was it Power Play or? There was another big band of horn sections and all he was in that I knew way back. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, when Regina said Ruben, I'm like, yeah. I mean, because he's automatically just going to know all that. We called Robert Jess first because I had went and sat in and saw Robert at, and I don't know what they call it. It's that new little bar. It's not new, but has a new name. The bar at the bottom of the Arcada on the floor, on the street level.
Yeah.
Robert was playing in there. And so I went and saw him one night and I'm like, oh my gosh, your list is like identical to my list. So he was who we thought of first, but he was doing something else. So
he actually stole your list when we did the Coterie together. He saw it and just
no.
He goes, if he can do it, I can do it.
Like he's got all the same country, the yacht rock, the R&B.
I'm like songs, man. All great.
That's what people want to hear, So that's how that came about.
Bongo Mike, where are you playing?
I am playing this Friday at Mickey Finn's with the Misquitos. 9:30.
Sweet.
Yeah, 9:30 to I'm moving because the sun was in my eyes. So I'm going.
You're making me dizzy, dude.
Bongo Mike, I got a little pro.
Feeling nauseous.
I think we ought to do this. What's that?
You're old. I'm not old.
Yeah. So anyway, Mickey Finn's 9:30 to 11:45 this coming Friday. The Misquitos. Yep.
Rhodesey, what
Yo.
you got?
I still got a couple of weeks before my season starts, but
you're a drummer
June
for
6th.
hire, aren't you?
Well, I am for hire, and actually I've been bugging a couple people that I know that they're going to have some drummer situations.
Now they're interested. Where do they get a hold of you?
Facebook is probably the best place to get a hold of me.
Got it.
Just
all right, in
shoot me
2
a
weeks, where are you
message.
going to be at?
So in the immediate future, I've got 2 shows coming up in June with Renegade Wildflower.
Oh yeah.
One's up in Madison, June 6th at Whiskey Jack's. And then the second one, we have a 2 p.m. slot at the Broken. I think it's a 2 p.m. slot at the Broken Oar.
Nice.
And then Mikey
I'm
Dermont.
looking forward to playing with them.
Mikey Dermont, what do I got going on? Well, Thursday I'm flying out to Pennsylvania for work. I'll be home Friday. Saturday, I'm going to go see the Pino Farina band at Bannerman's. Sunday is Mother's Day, so I'll be spending it with my beautiful wife, pampering her on Mother's Day. I saw my mother this morning and had breakfast with her.
What's the next Coterie?
The next
We're doing
Coterie,
the
I'm
yacht?
glad
Are
you
we doing
asked.
the yacht?
That is going to be September 28th at the Vixen. September 28th. Wally is going to be participating in that next event. Right now he is. We got to make sure all the schedules align, but it is going to be
Mine's good.
Yacht Rock event.
Block it out, Wally. Block it out.
And
I did
will tell
already.
you,
I did.
Even before all that, I
love
get
it.
to spend an evening tomorrow with my buddy Chris Rhodes at Art Nunez's house. We're going to start working on some
Are
core
you going to go
songs.
see a movie together?
No, we're actually going to rehearse. We've got the core folks getting together. We got a set list we're putting together for future shows. So I get to finally rehearse with my boy Rhodesey tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
Maybe you'll put
You're
together.
actually in town.
I'm actually in town. Yeah, no kidding.
The Hogpod house band
There you go. I love it.
playing any
Did you
corporate
did you
events.
win any money in Vegas, Mike?
I don't gamble, dude. Life's a gamble. Every day I get out of bed, I'm making a bet, right?
Can I write that down?
Smart man.
Wally Swiatly, Bongo Mike, Rhodesey, Mikey Dermont. Another episode down the Hog Pod podcast.
Great job, Wally.
Come on.
Peace.
Wally, you're bitching, man.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Wally.
Hey, I want to say one more thing, man. If you guys ever need somebody to sub, let me know.
Yeah, ditto, brother. Ditto.
Yes, definitely.
I'm in Regina's ear all the time.
You better be.
Thanks, buddy. Good seeing you, Wally.
You got
Thank
skills,
you,
Wally.
Wally.
Thank you, man.
Have a great night.
Peace.